Ring, 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 ring. There, finally you picked up. Now, you moved out yet? No. What's taking you so long? You ought to be moved out by now. I thought you said you found a new place. What's taking you so long? What, you're still packing your stuff up? Nonsense, I know you ain't got barely nothing in that apartment you're staying in. Or my apartment you're staying in. I know you ain't got barely a single thing. It shouldn't be taking you that long now. Now, I need you to be moving out today. Okay? Got it. You are wasting my valuable time right now. You see, I already got a family looking to take up that apartment you're staying in right now. I already got a new buyer ready. And guess what? They're willing to pay 3 times the amount of money you're paying for rent. 3 times. And all I had to do was tell them that there was a school nearby, a highly reputable school nearby that their child could stay at. What a fool they were. Didn't even do a bit of research. They don't even know that school got shut down ages ago, but hey, they're gonna be paying 3 times your rent, so I need you to be getting out of here now, okay? You are wasting my valuable time, and most importantly, my money is being wasted every second you stay in that apartment, okay? So you ought to get out now so I can move those suckers in, okay? So go ahead and get your tail moving out of this apartment, okay? And hope to see you never, okay? You loser. Welcome back, our dear listeners, to the news. Following yesterday's news, the strange series of disappearances occurring throughout the land of a variety of different humans has continued to occur. Authorities are still working on finding out the reasons behind these disappearances and why so many humans have just all of a sudden disappeared. But unfortunately, we report that there has been no new leads as of yet. So there has been a trend online. According to our end list, many individuals online have been coming up with conspiracy theories about how perhaps the unknown Void Cat Pink may be behind these strange disappearances. Void Cat Bank themselves about the situation, and here was their response. The unknown Void Cat Bank responded with the following. Wow, we are quite saddened by these serious and sad disappearances that have been occurring as of recently. We at Unknown Void Cat Bank assure that we have no involvement with any sort of disappearances, and that these theories are simply the imagination of a few online individuals who have no clue what they are talking about, and that business is perfectly fine at the Unknown Void Cat Bank. Stocks are great, stockholders are happy, and everything is how it should be. But following this response we got from the Unknown Void Cat Bank, we have, for our dear viewers, we have worked tirelessly to get an interview with one of the executives at the Unknown Void Cat Bank. So, I ask you, our viewers, to please welcome meow 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 Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to the Talking Cats and Magical News station, where we work tirelessly to give you, our dear listeners, all the most up-to-date news that you may need on both magic and Talking Cats. Every bit of news you may need on those two subjects. So, for today's first story, we wish to talk to you about a issue that we believe actually has to do with both topics, both Talking Cats and magic. You see, if you have been online, I assume you would have heard about the recent disappearances of many different humans. You've probably heard about this, but you see, is behind these disappearances, and that anybody talking online about them are mere conspiracy theorists, but our disappear listeners, we have today what we think may be the truth behind these disappearances. You see, we have recently gotten a bit of insider information from one of our loyal viewers, or one of our loyal listeners who happens to work at the Unknown Void Cat Bank. They have informed us of a strange series of incidents that have occurred at the Unknown Void Cat Bank that we think may be connected to these disappearances. You see, according to our insider information, every single one of these missing people, every single one of them has not only had an account with the Unknown Void Cat Bank, but they also all shortly took out a loan a few months before their disappearance. Every single one of them. And I know what you might say. This is information that's already been spread on the internet. That's what those, conspiracy theorists that the news talks about. That's what they were talking about and making connections to the whole loan stuff. So, you may ask, what makes what we have to say any different than what those people online are saying, what those talking cats online are saying, talking about how ain't it strange that they all took a loan out before they disappeared. But you see, we have evidence besides just those loans that we think supports the idea that the Unknown Void Cat Bank may be behind these disappearances. You see, according to our insider, not only did every single one of these humans that disappeared, not only did they take out a loan with the Unknown Void Cat Bank, but they also... Who's that? Hey, you're not supposed to be. This is a private studio. What are you doing? Now that's strange. Now why did my radio cut out now? That don't make no sense. But, well, I guess it's no bother. I guess it's no bother. I was about done with it anyway. I guess I should go ahead and check on my passenger. That's enough radio for now. So, now, hello there. How you doing there? It's been a bit of a drive, ain't it? You really chose to drive out so recently bought an apartment out here. Interesting, interesting. A bit far away, but I guess that means it would be a bit cheaper, so I guess that makes sense. But what's that look on your face now? Why you look so worried? Huh? What's that? Why'd I get out of my seat? Shouldn't I be paying attention to the road and driving the vehicle? That's what you're worried about, huh, partner? I see you're worried about me getting up out of my chair. You're really worried about that? Come on, partner. Don't you worry your head now. Don't worry now. I know it may look weird, but you don't gotta worry about it. I got the car in cruise control, okay? It'll drive itself, okay? I mean, it won't steer, but that's fine. I ain't seen a car for the last 90% of this drive, so I doubt any are gonna be appearing anytime soon, so it's fine if I leave the wheel bits unoccupied for a little bit. It ain't gonna hurt nobody. It ain't like we're gonna crash now, okay? So don't worry about it now. It ain't a big deal. The car will do fine. You don't gotta worry, okay? I got everything under control. If I hear a car approaching us, I'll get back to the driving seat and steer us out the way, but for now, we're good, okay? But was that all you worried about? Or was there anything else? No. I see. That's good then. I was worried that I was maybe bothering you or something. I was worried maybe you hated what I had on the radio. Maybe you weren't a fan of country music or something, I don't know. But it seems my worries were misplaced. It seems you're doing fine. Minus the whole me getting out of my driving seat and everything, but as I said, it ain't no big deal. But anyways, so how you doing back here? I meant to ask you that before I had to ask you about why you're so worried. I wanted to ask you, you doing good back here? I just wanted to check up on you. It's been a bit of a drive, and I want to make sure everything's still okay. I would like a 5-star rating after all, so anything you need back here, you're still good. The radio too loud or too quiet or anything? Nah, you're still good. Good. I'm glad to hear that. But I guess I should probably return to the driving seat now for the rest of your ride, as you seem to still be a little worried despite what I told you. You seem to still be worried about us crashing, so I'll stop worrying you and return to my seat, okay? But if you need anything during the rest of our drive, do let me know, okay? And I'll try to help you out to the best of my abilities, but I'll get back to driving. We shouldn't be too far now. Probably only maybe 20 minutes, so just sit tight, okay? We'll be arriving soon. So my car just can't handle going on those dirt paths up that hill to your place, so I'm gonna have to drop you off here. I do hope it's no bother. I know it ain't the best having to walk up that dirt path, but my car ain't gonna be able to handle driving all the way up there, up that hill, up that dirt path. It ain't gonna handle it. So, this is where I'm gonna have to part ways with you. I hope you enjoyed your ride, okay? And if you did, please do give me a 5-star rating. It does help, okay? But anyways, see you next time. If you ever need another ride, make sure to call for me, okay? See ya. I hope you enjoy your new place that you got. I hope you enjoy your new place. Bye bye now, though. Meow, meow. Meow, meow. Yes. Yes, yes. That will do good. Yes, it will. Yes, it. Yes, yes. That will do good. Yes, yes, that will. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. What's this? What are you doing here right now? You're not supposed to be in here, are you? Now, I mean, the sign on the door did say, do not disturb. Did it not? Oh, now, why do you look so scared? Calm down a little, will you? What's the problem? What? What is that? What is that you're crying about? You, you really think I'm a vampire? A vampire, you say? Oh, come on now. You're being silly. Do you really believe vampires exist? What are you crying about? Stop getting so scared now. Come on. Vampires don't exist. Silly. You're being silly. Vampires obviously don't exist now. You're being silly, okay? Now just calm down, okay? Why do you think I'm a vampire? Oh, I see, I see. It's the fangs, isn't it? Ah, yes, I guess that might make me look a little like a vampire. I see. But, you see, there's a very reasonable reason, a very reasonable explanation for this. Here, why don't you just calm down real quick and we can have a nice chat, okay? And I'll tell you why I have these fangs, okay? And I'll try to alleviate some of your fears. Okay, just calm down a little. You don't need to freak yourself out. So freak yourself out so much. You look like you're about to pass out because you're so afraid now. And wouldn't want that to happen. It'd be too much of a hassle carrying you all the way back to a bedroom or something. Too much hassle, so just calm down a bit, okay? And I'll try to explain things for you. Now, you see, these fangs of mine, they aren't quite what you think they are, okay? I know they might resemble like a vampire. They might make you think I'm a vampire, but these aren't vampire fangs. I mean, vampires don't exist, obviously. Well, as far as I know at least, they don't actually exist. You see, these fangs aren't like natural. These aren't something I just naturally had. Like, I'm not a vampire. I wasn't born with these fangs. I actually added these fangs to myself as a magical tool. You see, these fangs are actually a magical tool I created to help out with some of my magic that I do, because I am a magic using talking cats, as is many talking cats, though not many are quite as talented as me. If I were to say so myself, I am, though not many cats are quite, talking cats are quite as talented as me, I must say. But yes, these fangs, they're not vampire fangs, okay? You don't gotta worry about that. These are just a magical tool that I created and then added to myself. So, does that answer your question or your worry? Does that alleviate your worries of me being a vampire or something as silly as that? As silly as that is. What? What's that? You're still not convinced. You want to know why I would have these fangs as a magical tool if I wasn't a vampire. You want to know why I would make these in the first place. for straight up. If I just tell you what they're for without explanation, you might panic a little because it sounds a little scary if I tell you what they're actually for. I know it might make you panic a little. It might convince you for sure that I'm a vampire. So before I tell you what these things are for, I need to first explain a few other things. First, to help you understand when I tell you what these things are for. Okay, so first, you do know about magic, right? I know you're a human, so you may not know the most about it. But you know the basics, right? You know that, a lot of talking cats, well, all talking cats, have at least some magic inside of them. And that they can use this magic to do magical things like, I don't know, shoot a fireball or make magical potions and stuff. They can do magical things with it, depending on whatever their talents are. So that's, the basics. I assume you know at least that, right? But, as well as that, you see. But to expand on that, you see, I assume you know that. So that is, the basics after all. Even if you're a human, I assume you know at least that. But, to expand on that, you see, while every cat can use magic to some degree, and while some of them can't proficiently use it and some can, those who are proficient in magic, most of them do not simply just use whatever magic they choose to use. Instead, most talking cats will choose what magic they specialize in based on the natural talents they have, which can be discovered in a variety of ways, though I won't get too in depth about that as it's not too important. But what you need to know is talking cats usually choose a magic to specialize in if they have enough magic to do so, based on what their natural talents are. And usually, this is broken down into three main categories. Either they become a witch and do potion making and a variety of other stuff. They may become a wizard and do things like create magical portals, shoot fireballs, and a variety of stuff like that. Or they may become a necromancer. But the thing is, and the thing that is important for the specific situation we're in right now, the thing that's important to know is that while these are the three main categories, there does exist magics outside of those three main categories for talking cats. And in that, there's two different versions of magic that exist out of the three main categories. And that is supportive and completely original. So supportive are usually magics that are technically not a part of the three main magics. As in, not every single cat can learn them, even if they're a part of that category. But only cats of a specific category learn this supportive magic for that category. And so what I mean by that is, for example, some cats may learn specific spells that may work the three main magics, but they still primarily learn one of the three magics, and those other spells outside of the three magic are supports that work in connection. They aren't really their own separate thing. Like, they don't really have much power by themselves. For example, there is this group of magical cats that actually know how to imbue magic into a variety of objects. But to imbue that magic into objects, they have to imbue magic from one of the three main categories based on whatever they're the most talented in. For example, if they're talented in necromancy, or wizardry, or witch magic, they may use one of those magics combined with the support magic to put one of those three magics into a variety of objects for a variety of purposes. So that is the first category of other magic outside of the main three. The first category is supportive magic. That is technically outside of the main three, but only really works in connection with the main three. You still mostly do the main three, and then this magic is just on the side helpful. And usually this magic is also only learned by specific groups of magic talking cats. Specific groups of magic using talking cats. And they're usually very secretive about these supportive spells. And you cannot learn them unless you're part of their group. But the second category is what I call, some may call it other things, some talking cats disagree on the exact name of this category, but what I call it is the completely original category. Well, mostly original category. And so, this category of spells, unlike the supportive category, which relies on the main three spell types and supports them and needs their help, the other category, the mostly original spells, are, as the name suggests, completely original or mostly original. These are spells that fall outside of the main three categories and kind of do their own thing and gain power and use power sources and use magic in a different way than the three main spells types use. For example, they don't raise the undead, they don't make magical potions, and they don't shoot fireballs. They do their completely separate thing. And you see, I am one of those users that use mostly original magic. You see, I'm not a necromancer cat. I'm not a wizard cat. Nor am I a witch cat. I do not practice any of those three magics. Instead, I practice a completely separate magic from those three main categories that most cats use. What I practice is a magic that I call blood magic that I created and research. To use it, you must first empower blood with magic. You must take the magic that is inside a talking cat like myself, and you must take this magic and manipulate it and imbue it inside of blood. And by doing so, you will be able to, or you will be able to activate a variety of effects and a variety of spells. For example, by imbuing magic into my own blood, inside my own body, I am able to strengthen my body, both in regeneration, allowing me to quickly heal from most wounds, but I am also able to simply strengthen my body physically and allow for me to make physical feats far beyond most talking cats. I'm physically much stronger thanks to this spell. Thanks to me imbuing magic into my own blood, mixing them together in a specific way, strengthening my entire body in the process. But besides strengthening the blood inside of my body, I can also do another thing. I can also take out blood. I can take blood outside of my body and imbue it with magic, giving the blood a powerful strength, making it very sharp and explosive, depending on the amount of magic I add to the blood. This allows me to use it as a weapon, similar to what you may see with a fireball casted by a wizard cat. It is quite similar. The only difference is, thanks to it being my own blood that I control directly with my magic power, I have much more control over it than, let's say, a wizard has over a fireball. A wizard who controls a fireball, they can simply shoot it out and have no control after they fire it away. But in my case, I can still control my blood even after I shoot it out. I can still control it all the way until it explodes violently. But here, why don't I give you a quick demonstration? I know that it's a bit hard to understand. I can see that you're struggling a bit to understand exactly what I'm talking about. Which, of course, I'm not blaming you. It is a bit hard to understand these concepts. All this magical stuff is a bit hard to understand if you do not personally use magic yourself. It is hard to understand the concepts and abilities of a magic-wielding talking cat if you personally have never used magic, which, of course, you haven't. I mean, you're a human, and I haven't heard of any humans that can use magic. Well, except for those very, very, very rare examples, but I highly doubt you're a part of one of those rare wouldn't want to damage the room, nor would I want you to accidentally get hurt. They can be very explosive, as I previously mentioned, so I would just hover it in the air a bit, okay? But here. Here it is. So, what do you think? Fascinating, isn't it? To be able to create a ball made out of blood, my own blood like this, and keep it together, floating in the air. It is impressive, is it not? Very amazing. And before you say it, yes, I know it is not completely a ball. It is a bit misshapen, but that is the simple side effect of adding so much magic to the blood. When you add so much magic to the blood and then forcibly bring so much of it together into this tight space, it starts to try to explode out a bit. So I cannot make it into a perfect ball without decreasing the amount of magic I add, but that would reduce the amount of control I have, and it will reduce both the strength and explosiveness of the blood ball. So I believe it's a worthwhile sacrifice to forget about making it a perfect ball and instead opt for more control and power, as I believe that is much more important than a bit of appearance of the move of the blood ball. But yes, I think I should probably put it away now. I wouldn't want to accidentally shoot it off somewhere if I were to get distracted, so there. Now, nice and safely put away. But I do hope that helps you understand a bit more about how the magic looks. And so, I think I should probably get back to the fangs, right? I mean, that's why I started talking about this before. I got a little distracted explaining all the basics, but it was important that I explained what my magic was before I tell you what the artifact does, as if I didn't tell you what my magic was, you might have gotten afraid when I tell you that the purpose of these fangs, these magical tools shaped like fangs, the purpose of them is to suck out blood, which you see why I had to tell you about my magic, right? Before I told you about these magical tools, I do understand that it does sound a bit like a vampire. The fact that I'm sucking out blood with these magical tools does make me sound a bit like a vampire. That's why I had to explain this before you panic and believe that just because I suck out blood with these fangs that I'm a vampire, when in reality, it is simply a part of the magic. I simply suck out blood not for nourishment, for I'm not a vampire, but to support my blood magic, as, well, my magic is very, very powerful. It does not come without side effects, as using up blood is very costly. You can't just get rid of all your blood now. That would kill you these magical tools with the idea that if I cannot use too much of my own blood at one time, because it would be bad for me, then what I simply need to do is get blood from another source to use instead as a replacement for my own blood. So, before you panic and talk about how immoral that may be to take away another's blood simply for my magical purposes, before you complain, I will say I have not actually used these things yet. Unfortunately, I have not yet had a chance to use them. As I do live alone in this mansion, so I don't quite get a lot of contact, so I've been forced to simply experiment with my own blood. That, and it's simply easier to use my own blood, as well it does have its side effects and harm towards my body. If I use too much, it is a lot easier to control, though, since it's part of my own body. It is a lot easier to control and much easier to access quickly. So, I haven't quite experimented with using anyone else's blood. I mean, where would I get any? I can't just kidnap somebody. I'm not like one of those witch cats who kidnap random humans who wander too far into the woods and kidnap them to use as a experimental tool, test subject for their potions. No, I do not do that. I have at least some morals, I will say. Well, that, and ever since us talking cats have tried to integrate into human society, a lot of the magical guilds, they've been cracking down on any talking cats that try to harm humans with their magic. So, there's also that. I couldn't quite kidnap a human as well, because that would also get me in trouble with the various magic guilds, the various talking cat magic guilds. I may get in trouble with them if I were to do so, so I have to avoid doing that. But there's also the moral reasons as well. As I could never do such a thing. I am a kind soul after all. I do not use my magic to harm others. And yes, while some of my magic is geared towards violence, like the blood ball which you could use to attack another, while that is the case, I do not do that. I simply made it for research purposes. I simply enjoy creating new spells after all. I am but a researcher at heart. I do not wish to harm no one, neither talking cats nor human. So I have not had any chance to test out sucking up all their blood so I can use it for some magic. You don't gotta worry about that. You are safe, okay? But, do you have any more questions? Anything else that you may wish to ask me? Oh, you want to know why I'm also wearing this cloak? Oh, well, that one's quite simple. That's actually simpler than the other questions you ask. This has nothing to do with vampires, okay? I know vampires often wear cloaks, so I know when you combine that with the fangs, it might seem a little strange, but this is but a magic cloak, okay? This is just a magical cloak that is I use to enhance the amount of magic that I have inside of my body. This is but another magical item that I have and created. This cloak, when I wear it, it allows me to both control my magic easier, and it allows me to more quickly replenish my magic and store more of it. So, yes, it's not a vampire cloak, okay? It just looks like one because I thought it would look cool, to be honest. I made it this way because I just thought it looked cool. But in reality, it's nothing but a magical cloak similar to what you might see a witch cat or a wizard cat or maybe a necromancer cat. Not all of them wear it, but often you may see them as well wearing a magic cloak to enhance their magic. Mine simply looks a bit different as I do not belong to any of those three main magic. And because I created this cloak myself, so it looks much different than the cloaks you may see the other talking cats wear that use magic. Their cloaks are usually created by the magical guilds or towers they belong to. They're usually created as a sort of a uniform, and because of that, they're more standardized. They're usually more standardized, they're usually more uniform, and usually they all look mostly the same because of this. Versus mine that I created to suit my own desires for appearance wise. I created it to suit what I like and what I need. So I hope that answers your last question. I do hope that alleviates every last one of your worries. Alright. I'm not a vampire, okay? I am but a simple talking cat magic user. I'm but a simple magic using talking cat that practices a magic different than what most talking cats use. A magic I created myself, and that is why you may never have seen anybody else with similar magical tools, because there is nobody else who uses magic. I try to keep it a bit secret. I don't like to spread knowledge about my magic, as it is my pride and joy, so I would like to keep it to myself if I could. But that does alleviate all your worries, right? Do you have any other questions that you may need to ask? Are, are, or are you all good now? I do hope I properly convinced you that I am not a vampire. Okay, so, any more questions? Oh, okay, good. Finally not a question that has to do with me being a vampire, looking like a vampire or something. You want to know why I'm here? I see, I understand why you would ask that. You did buy this house, right? Yeah, before you ask how I know that, I was told, okay? I was told by the cat that sold you this house. I was told that you would be coming here. And I was told that you would buy this house, okay? That is why I know about you buying this house. So don't worry about that. But to answer your question about why I am here in your house, your mansion technically is what it is, but you see, that is because I am actually hiding out in this mansion. I have actually hidden myself in this mansion from all of the rest of society, whether it be talking cats or humans. I have hidden myself away in this mansion, far away from any human cities or talking cat towns or villages. I had to hide myself away for a variety of reasons, I would say. One of them being what I mentioned earlier, that being that I wish to keep my magic a secret, something only I know about. I do not want any other talking cats to pry into my magic secrets and try to learn more about my magic and perhaps even try to copy it or anything like that. I do not wish for that to happen, so I left magic. All I left society. I left all of society once I fully started my research into creating this blood magic. Once I was fully committed to its creation, I had to leave society so that no one else would know about its creation, so that no one else would know that I created this magic. Because of that, I had to leave society. But since I am hidden away from society, I am legally non-existent. I have no paperwork. I have no ID. I have nothing of the like. No money, no nothing. And so, because of that, I do not legally own this mansion. I cannot legally own this mansion, as if I did, that would be a way for others to find out about me. If the people would be able to track me, talking cats would be able to track this mansion if my name was connected to it. So, I was not able to acquire this mansion the normal way. Instead, I made a deal with the real estate agency that owned the property rights to this mansion. I made a deal that I would allow them to have this mansion, as they did not always own this mansion. They did not always own this mansion. It was actually owned by this other family a while in the past. This family I knew owned this mansion, and they gave it to me, but I could not keep it, as while I could just live here after they gave it to me, eventually somebody would appear wondering why this mansion was vacant for so long. So I gave away the rights to this mansion to this real estate agency. But in exchange, we made a deal where, in exchange for me giving the mansion to them for free to sell for their own profits, they would have to allow me to stay in the mansion no matter who they sell the mansion to. And they would have to make sure that whoever bought this mansion would have to sign an agreement to follow the rules that I need them to follow. You remember that agreement that you signed before you bought this house, this mansion? That was written by me. That agreement, that paper was written by me. I had it written so that anyone who purchased this house would not be able to reveal my identity, nor would they be able to cause me any harm or be a problem for me. That was the deal I made with the real estate agency, and that is why I still live here. That is why you found me here, because I am meant to live here. This is my home as much as it is yours. You signed the contract. After all, you agreed to essentially allow me to be here. That is the price you paid for being able to buy such a large mansion for so cheap. That was the price. But I must say, it's not that bad, is it? I mean, it's a very, very large mansion after all. Plenty of room for the both of us, and I'm a researcher. I don't like to socialize that often. I often have to spend my time locked up in this room, studying. Well, not this room in particular. I do have a lab in this mansion that you have not seen yet, but I often lock myself up in my lab, researching this magic of mine, so I won't be too much of a bother. So I believe it should be fine, right? is why I am here. I do hope that satisfies your question, and I also hope we can properly live in peace together, and I hope we can properly go. I hope we could properly coexist in this mansion together, and that I will not be too much of a bother to you, nor will you be a bother to me either. But yes, any more questions? You've had quite a lot of questions, I must say, but it's no bother. It's best to go ahead and get them over with now, then worry about them in the future. So I'm okay with you asking as many questions as you may need to ask. It is fine to be curious. I am a researcher, so I too am curious as well. I too have a curious soul. I too love to learn, so I cannot fault you for asking a variety of questions. But yes, any more questions? Anything else that you need to know? Oh, I see. Oh, I see, I see. You wish to know about the objects in this room. You want to know why I have a coffin and a crate in this room right now? I see, I see. Excellent question, I must say. It probably does look a little weird randomly having a coffin just lying around, but you see, just like the fangs, just like the cloak, this question can be answered the same as the others. You see, this coffin and that crate over there are both magical tools as well. Well, if I am to be technical, the crate is not a magical tool. The objects inside of it are, but I cannot show you the objects inside of the crate right now. They are a bit deadly, I will say, a bit dangerous if handled poorly, so I do apologize, but I cannot show you them right now, nor can I currently talk to you about what they are. Not yet, at least. I'll need to trust you a bit more before then, as they are very, very dangerous. But I can tell you about this coffin. You see, this coffin is a magical tool. What it does, according to my knowledge at least, as I did not create these magical tools, unlike my fangs and my cloak, the crate of tools and the coffin, they are not magical tools I personally created. They are magical tools that I borrowed before I left society. I happened to borrow a few tools from a few magical guilds and towers that I had a few connections to, and a few grudges as well. I may have borrowed a few before I left, which may or may not be connected to why I am hiding out as men that's not important. But you see, this magical coffin is actually a magical tool that belonged to a guild of necromancers. This is a necromancer magical tool. It is actually meant to help out the necromancers with their magic. From what I know, and from what I learned before I borrowed it, this coffin helps necromancers empower the skeletons and undead that they raise. This coffin allows them to strengthen them. But, of course, this is useless to me. I have no need for that ability, as I do not use necromancy. I use my special blood magic, so I do not need the ability of the coffin. But the reason I got this coffin, despite it being not the most useful to me, is while I cannot use the ability of the coffin itself, I can break it down to its parts, and in doing so I can take the magic and magic imbued ingredients apart and take them for my own use after I deconstruct this coffin. So, while I cannot use the coffin, it is still valuable to me in the future, as I can repurpose its materials to make my own magical tools that better help me, like these magical fangs, or my cloak. By breaking down the coffin, I perhaps may be able to make something new in the future that will help me out with my research. But yes, that is why I have this coffin. I know it also looks a little weird to have and a bit vampire-like to have a coffin, but that's just a coincidence, of course, as I mentioned. It's simply there for materials. Now, the crate is not just materials. Some of the magical tools are materials, just like the coffin, or they will be broken down into materials, just like the coffin, but not all of them. Some of them I do have a use for, but I cannot use them yet. I have to take some precautions first, because the ones that I do plan on using are very, very dangerous. They are the dangerous tools that I mentioned. The most dangerous of them. The most dangerous of all the tools in the crate. But yes, I hope that answers your question about all this stuff lying around in this room. And also, I will add, if you were wondering why the room has a do not disturb sign, this is the reason. There is a variety of magical tools in here, so I didn't want just anybody wandering in here randomly. It could be dangerous, both because I don't really want anybody knowing about these magical tools, considering I borrowed all of them, but also because some of them are very, very dangerous, so I do not want anybody coming in here. That's why I put on the do not disturb sign, was able to stop you before you may have accidentally messed with the wrong magical tool and got yourself hurt. Luckily I was here, but I do hope in the future you respect the signs I put up, okay? Do not just simply enter rooms that you are not supposed to be in, okay? I do not want to be mean, but you got to respect my privacy, and you must also respect it for your own safety. You could be in very, very grave danger if you mess with what you're not meant to be messing with, okay? But unfortunately, that will have to be the end of our questions today. I know you probably have a lot more to talk about. You probably have many, many more questions, but I also have my own things that I must do today. I have research that must be conducted, so I must end this session of question asking for now, okay? But it should be fine. We have plenty of time in the future for you to ask more questions, okay? And I will be more than happy to answer. But for now, I think it's best that you get to unpacking if you brought anything here. I think it's best that you get to unpacking your belongings if you brought anything here. Plus, it's getting awfully late, so it would be good if you were to get your rest. Humans like you need a lot of sleep to maintain your health, so it would be best that you get your rest, okay? And we can talk more tomorrow. And I will say before you go one last thing. I mentioned that I have not experimented on anybody else, no talking cats, no humans. I've only used but my own blood. I haven't had even a chance to test out my fangs that I created. I have not been able to do so because I am by myself and I can't just kidnap somebody like that. But considering you're here now, I won't force you, but it would be mighty helpful if you could maybe help me out. Maybe be my lab assistant and help me with a few things. If you do, I promise to reward you as well as I can. I will not let your help go unrewarded. I know it might sound scary to help me out. I mean, I talked about using blood, and it might sound scary to be my lab assistant, but I promise I will not go too far. I will make sure to only take as much blood as I can without endangering your health at all. And if you do so, if you help me, I will reward you, as I said. I may not have money, I may not have any money that I can pay you, but I know a variety. I have a variety of magical materials that, while you may not be able to use without magic, you can sell them as I cannot sell them myself, since I'm keeping my identity hidden. But as long as you tell nobody, not a soul, where you got these magical materials, I have some magical materials stockpiled in my laboratory that many talking cats would be willing to buy for quite a hefty sum, so I would be willing to give you some of them to sell if you would help me out. Not only that, but if you remember before, I mentioned that I empower not only blood outside of my body for attacks and spells outside my body, but I also empower the blood inside of my body to strengthen my own body. So, if you help me with my research, I may do the same for you, if possible, as that is one of the things I wish to research. I wish to research whether or not it may be possible not just to strengthen my own blood in my own body, but whether or not I can use the blood of others as weapons, but also use the blood of others currently in their body to strengthen them, to strengthen others with their own blood, even if only temporarily, and even if not as powerful as my own blood. I would wish to see if that might be possible. And if it is, if you help me with my experiments, and if you help me find out if this is possible, I will use that magic on you if you wish, and I will use it to strengthen your body, making you much stronger than you currently are, both health-wise and also in physical strength. So, what do you think? Does it sound like a good idea? A good plan? A good offer? I hope it does, but here, you don't gotta answer now. Don't answer now. I want you to think it through a bit, okay? You don't need to answer at all right now. You can wait until tomorrow morning. Why don't you think about it before you go to sleep? And after you wake up, I'll give you some time to dwell on it. And if you decide that you do wish to be my assistant, just let me know, okay? But, anyways, good night. I hope you have a amazing rest. And as I said before, I hope we have an amazing time together. I hope we can coexist perfectly. And I hope there is no issues. I hope that we are perfect roommates. And I hope that this will be a amazing time for the both of us. An amazing deal for the both of us. But, good night. I have many research to work on, so I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Bye-bye. I got a few things to grab from that crate I was mentioning, so I do kind of need you to leave. So, not to rush you out, but